going down in Tennessee where freedom is alive. His shots ring from the woods, take on 45. Life is good. She's more ammo than he probably should. There's comments here in Nashville neighborhood in the lake. Life is good. He's always shooting down in the woods. He probably would if he could. Life is good. He wouldn't leave you even if he could. Life is good.
Yes, Hickok 45, coming to you from the beautiful hills of Middle Tennessee. I'm not kidding. We are in Tennessee, the home of Dolly Parton, Alvin York. So many cool people right here in the famous state of Tennessee. Yes, glad you're here. You know, it is famous. I'm from Kentucky, but Tennessee, really quite a famous state in so many ways. You know, the Grand Ole Opera, country music, home of country music, and home of so many well-known entertainers, I guess you'd say, right? And of course, Kentucky. I have the Kentucky Derby and things like that. Famous for some things as well, okay? And every state is, you know, I'm not biased, right? But then again, I kind of think of, I don't know, I don't want to pick on anybody's state, but we got all named 4 or 5 states and say, okay, now what are they known for? I don't know, you know, see, I'm not sure I could pick them out on a map maybe, you know, I mean, really, whereas with Tennessee and maybe even Kentucky, and I've done a lot of traveling, but, you know, people around the country, around the world, they just kind of know Nashville, they know Tennessee, they know a lot of things, you know, Elvis and just whatever it might be, the Smoky Mountains. It just has a lot of history and, I don't know, for whatever reason, a lot going for it. At least it has, yeah, and historically. So what am I shooting today? Oh boy, look at that. A Raging Bull. Another firearm that we've had requests for several years. I'm finally getting around to it. Guess I was in a Taurus mood lately. Really have. We've done several Taurus firearms again. Sorry to neglect you, Taurus. Part of it is because well, we've done 3 in the last, I don't know, 3 months or something. They've all worked just fine. Yeah. And the ones I have had trouble with in my past have been revolvers, but I've not shot a lot of Taurus firearms. And those were the first shots. You just saw them that I fired with this. I don't know where the sights were. I'm not sure whether they hit the gong or not. I thought on that last shot I'd just throw one at the gong. Got there pretty fast, and this is loud, so I don't know if I hit it or not, to tell you the truth. But we'll try it again, okay, before you leave. And yeah, those are the first shots. Pleasant surprise, not a lot of recoil. Shouldn't be, that big barrel. And got this just in yesterday, okay, from Bud's as a borrowed gun. Got another rifle here, I'll show you. Picked them both up yesterday. So I can't get used to this. It has 2 latches. See me struggling, you know. Not that I'm beyond struggling with anything, remember my own name maybe or whatever, but it is kind of a natural to, you know, you're just used to working the latch, but you got 2 of them here, okay? Double lockup. I think they make this in 454 Casal and everything else, so you know, got it set up for a big, powerful stuff, all right? You got a heavy barrel. That thing is not going to kick you too much, no doubt about it. Those 44 mags feel about like 44 special, you know, in some other firearms. So, yeah, I got that. And here I go again, not being able to open it. So what we're going to talk about, just a couple of things. Again, I have clouds moving in. Hope I don't get interrupted. Hope your exposure to genius, profundity, does not get interrupted, okay? Yeah, profundity is kind of the noun version, right, for my folks in Kentucky, of profound, right? Yeah, profound would be an adjective. profundity is something you might utter that is really profound. Okay, enough of that. So good to see y'all again. Hope everybody is virus free and hanging in there. You know, this would be a good time to get the flu, wouldn't it, or something? It just dawned on me, you know, just end up with the flu, plain old flu, you know, be coughing around, have to see the doctor, and maybe take some medicine, and be in the bed for a few days, and people wonder, what's wrong with you? Are you sick? Oh, I got the flu. It's just something unique for right now. Of course, I have a feeling that, yeah, my paranoia is coming out, right? These bugs, right? Spider on the microphone, everything else. My paranoia leads me to think somehow it would get tabulated as you know what, right? So yeah, a lot of stuff going on there, huh? So anyway, what else am I doing? Well, what we've been doing, I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I've got a couple of things I'll talk about and shoot. I've been doing a lot of archery lately. John's really gotten into it, as I've said. We shot in a 3D match this week and weekend, and that was fun. We shot around here a lot. We've just been slinging a lot of arrows. It's fun to get back into it. Went through a 3D match too with a couple of friends of mine, and up at Twin Oaks Bow Hunters, and it's not far from me. And it's one of the premier traditional archery clubs in the country. And I didn't even know about it, I know, for a long time, even after I got into archery, and I found out about it just up the road from me. So it's really nice. Guy has, I think, about 500 acres, been putting on matches there forever. And they've like the world match this weekend, world traditional IBO championships or whatever it's called. But again, I don't shoot for score. Just go do it and have fun, walking through the woods and, you know, assassinating those foam targets, animals. It's just a lot of fun once you get into it. Again, archery is something you might want to try sometime. I highly recommend traditional archery. It's harder. It's way harder than shooting compound bow. Compound bow with a peep sight is, you know, it's just, I mean, I can shoot it better than this pistol or that rifle almost. It's just, you know, good release. It's not. But traditional archery is more instinctive. It's like throwing rocks at something, throwing darts, shooting a basketball. And once you shoot it a little bit and you get your arm built up, and so you're not, I can't hold it back. You got to get past that. Of course, don't get overbowed with too heavy a bow and power-wise. And once you can pull it back and just release it and get a good release and practice that, you'll be surprised what you can hit, how well you can shoot it. And it's fun. I'll say for me, I won't say for everybody, but for me, it's so much more fun than the compound bow. But you've got to work yourself into it, okay? Like a lot of things in life, the reward comes after what? Work, right? But it's really not work, it's fun learning. So that's what I've been up to, a lot of that, and some shooting too. Been shooting different firearms. I fell in love again, I think, with, I guess lately, with the Python. You know, here I guess over a period of decades maybe, I've kind of not trashed, but I, you know, get a lot of questions and I answer them about what I prefer, Python or Smith & Wesson, different things. And my standard answer has kind of always been, well, Pythons are beautiful, Colts are great, I love them, but I just tend to shoot a Smith better. They feel better in my hand. I like the latch on the cylinder, more intuitive, and the grip, and I just shoot them better. And I know the Python is capable of getting out of time and everything, timing, and you know, so I just, you know, stuck with Smith for the most part, even though I had several Pythons back in the 70s and 80s. Get away, bugs. I'm going to shoot them. They need some gunpowder. They're not sweat bees. I don't know what they are. But I kind of, I don't know, I'm not sure what it is. Well, for one thing, I'm not competing with a revolver. I'm just enjoying it and shooting it. And you cannot hate a precision instrument. You know, and again, even the new 2020 Pythons, they seem really nice, like nice machines. Okay, they've got the bugs worked out, it seems. and they are just nice, a little different, but really nice. And I got a wild hare this week and got out my vintage python. Yeah, not for me because I was pythonless for 2 or 3 decades, for a while, But I got that one you've seen the video, or one of it, I guess, so far. The one made in 1981, nice 6-inch blue python, just like the very first one I ever owned. And I just got a wild hare to get it out and try it on range 2 this week. You haven't posted it, but it's hard. Range 2 over that way. The smaller targets out there pretty far, and occasionally I'll get a handgun out there and shoot at it and do that. But it's got to be one that it's got a really good trigger. I'm really confident in the sights, and I just feel good about it. I can hit with it, whether it's a pistol, semi-automatic, or a revolver, doesn't matter. It's just hard shooting pretty long range at targets, like that big and that kind of thing. It can be frustrating, and I don't enjoy that kind of thing. I never have enjoyed, as I've told you all before, what would you call it? Just extreme accuracy shooting, bullseye shooting, or who can shoot the tightest group, or even though I can do okay on a good day, or picking off, like the cell phone, at 60 yards, and trying to hit stuff like there, 100 yards, whatever, and just, shooting at little things like that, and then finally hitting it and getting all excited. And I would rather shoot a little bit larger targets and have a higher hit ratio. It's just more fun, but that's just me. And so that range can be, even with rifles, sometimes, I have trouble. But I just got a wild hare to do it, and did it because the thing is, little inside baseball secrets, doing videos and things like this, even though this is kind of a reality show, we don't assume some weird role in this radio voice, and here I'm coming to you from, we're just kind of ourselves, and showing you kind of what we do, and trying to review guns a little bit, at least giving our opinions on them. But we don't fall into personas. John does and I don't. That's why we're so boring, right? But still, there's the factor. It's just not a good video if I say, hey, I'd like to try range 2 with this. Now I ought to be able to do it with this thing, but just whatever gun I happen to like. And so let's set up the camera. Get the camera, John. Let's go do it. I go over here, and I go through 150 rounds, and just it takes 30 minutes to knock those little squares over. Just can't get zeroed in on them, but I finally get it done. Well, I don't know. That's just kind of a boring. So I tend to do it with things I feel pretty good about, and I can go ahead and get some decent hits, and I'm not just wasting your time and my time and ammunition. Okay, so there's that element. We want to keep it to a whatever. I guess the range 2 videos are usually about probably even under 10 minutes a lot of times. So for us, that's short, right? So anyway, I felt good about it. We got through it. It almost got to a point, like we have started some of those before, and I just get into, I can't hit it, forget it. We'll try another day. Really, that happens on that. Again, a little bit of inside baseball there. I'm not going to post some stupid video, like I say, where it's 30 minutes long, and it makes the gun look horrible, makes me look really stupid. Don't care that much about that. But you know how it is. The sights aren't on or something, or I'm not sure where the sights are. I'm just having trouble. I can't see the sights clearly enough. That happens sometimes with the lighting, and so let's do this another day. I need to paint the sight. In fact, what happened with the python, I was just making sure I could hit the red plate. And I said, wow, I can't see it. And we were losing light. We were going to do another video over there, waiting for the light to get right on the main range. And so let's go here and do that. I'm in the mood to do it. And some more inside information. And I don't know, I guess I'm not going to be able to do it. If I could see the sights, I think I could do it. And because it was just blurring out the gray against gray over there. Not my eyesight, literally. It's just a sight picture. John couldn't see it either. And so, well, let's run over there and see if I've got any white paint. I'm going to paint this stupid sight if I can find anything. And we raced back over there in the four-wheeler, and I got some, didn't have any white sight paint or anything, fingernail polish. I am fresh out of that. I got a spray can of white paint, and I just sprayed it on some cardboard and got like a Q-tip, and I very carefully put some white paint on that sight. And I took a cigar lighter and I sort of baked it so it would dry. We came back over here, and I said, yeah, I think I can see that. And I thought, this ain't no way this is going to work. Here I'm rushed. I'm in a hurry now, and I'll be darned if I didn't do at least well enough to make a video with it. So you know, I got into one missing streak, and I thought, this ain't gonna work either. But I sort of came out of it. And but anyway, that's just kind of the way it works. And I enjoyed that Python. It was where I got started. Nice rifle, nice pistol. Okay, let me shoot this again before I get the rifle here going. Again, this is the Taurus Raging Bull 44 Magnum. I know, you know, I could have gotten this in 454. Don't think I have any ammo for that, and I could probably gotten some, you know, within a few weeks. But I saw that Buds had this available, and whoa, that's something that people have been requesting. I might as well try that. And so here it is, the Raging Bull. Let's rage a little bit. I'll try the gong again because I'm not sure whether I hit it. Because that's one thing I'm doing. I get this stuff out to see if the sights are on before we do a video. Let me bring it down. I can't tell. Yeah, I'm not sure where it's going. I don't even see the dirt fly up. So I need to take some more time. I didn't have my screwdriver today. Shoot some paper, moderate range, see where it's hitting. But it seems like a sweet shooter. I mean, the stuff I was shooting at right here, let's see. I don't know, that hit on that pig is kind of high, isn't it? So I must be going high. And that's kind of the thought process I go through. I can kind of ballpark things without too much trouble. Let me put a couple in, see if I'm maybe right. If I'm not seeing a hit anywhere, and I'm shooting out there at a gong, this one or the other one, and I don't see anything, I don't hear anything. This thing is so loud sometimes, unless you get a really good hit on a gong, you may not hear it. But there's a good chance I'm going high because you don't see it as much. All right, I'm gonna hold it lower. How's that? There we go. What a genius! What a genius! Yeah, if you don't see dirt get knocked up and you keep missing, you could be going left, right, back into the weeds or something. But you pretty well know you had your what am I saying? Your windage. You knew you weren't too far off on at least some of the shots, and you're not seeing any dirt get knocked up, or it doesn't have to be dusty either. Like over there, it's been raining off and on. So anyway, that's good. That tells me something. Yeah, let me show you the other rifle. I had it loaded. I thought I was going to shoot it first. I don't have the bolt closed. Look at this baby. This is a rifle. The SAKO, I think they pronounce it SAKO. SAKO 85, model 85, Bavarian, the Bavarian Hunter, I believe. And I wouldn't know about this rifle if it hadn't been for, probably, if it hadn't been for all the NRA meetings, the exhibits and the SHOT Show I've been to. Because I just picked one up one time. I was looking at different rifles and things at a booth. And I put this thing on my shoulder. It's been years. I thought, oh my gosh, does that rifle fit like a glove? And ever since I always, if I see one, I'll pick it up, at the NRA meeting, exhibits, or the SHOT Show, and I thought, I got to get one of these because it's also available in 6.5 by 55, the Swedish Mauser round. And I thought, that would be nice. Comes with metal sights. You don't have to, rely on putting a scope on it if you don't want to. But it's expensive. It's like $2,000. But every time I see it, I think, man, what a rifle. And I've been tempted on it even. But Bud's usually has them. I saw they had them in 270, maybe some other calibers. And you know what? I'm just going to get one of those and make you all aware of it. I know that everybody's looking for a $2,000 rifle, and I don't know all that much about SAKO. I've never owned a SAKO. John has one, but oh man, a precision piece of machinery, no doubt about it. If you just put one of these to your shoulder and work the bolt, you kind of you understand why it's not at least 500. It may not be worth 2,000 to you, but you understand why it's expensive at least. So I've not shot it. It's 270. Let's see if the sights are anywhere close on this thing. All right, it's on fire. I'll try that bowling pin down there above the pig. Okay, at least it's on that well. Let's try a red plate over there. Oh man, I just had a feeling it'd be right on. That was me. Oh yeah, it's the other one. I'll try, well, it's a 270. Let's hit this water jug. Can you all see it over here on the left? I'll get away from that tree. Yeah, it hit, you may not have been able to see it, but you probably saw the water fly. I was trying to move where the tree wouldn't be behind it, that nice poplar. Like I told you last week, none of those trees would even exist. Even that one directly in the middle of the range down there, in line with the propane tank, that tree didn't exist either. I used to bush hog this, and the big one over there between the red plates, oh, you can't see it too well in this video maybe, but it's sort of between the two red plates. That big tree, the biggest one you see, those are poplars, and I used to bush hog right over that. And I just saw a little twig of poplar coming up, and I thought, well, let's let that grow. And then I decided, why am I mowing any of this? And so I quit mowing it, and I just let all that grow up. And I just have trails. All I need are trails. In fact, I like that so much better than just that field. It was a hay field. And so, hiking, biking, just woods walks, whatever. Trails are just better than a blank open field to me. So that's what I have. Yeah, this is oh man, that would be sweet. That's sweet. In 270, that's nice. That's nice. I guess I'd still want it if I bought one ever in maybe the Swedish round. I don't know. I don't have a 270. Maybe 270 is what I'd want. Anyway, I don't have the option. Well, sometimes you all will say, are you going to send that one back? I can tell you like that one. Well, no, the deal with it, we borrow them from buds, and I record the serial numbers, and I do a certificate and everything. They go back to buds, and they auction them off on their e-gunner, and 10% goes to the food bank here in Tennessee, and all that. But I mean, it's an auction gun, which I get it, or even before. When I request it, I'm requesting for the auction. And I mean, I can buy something online from them, just like you do or can, so now early on, I think years ago, did we? I don't know. With them, we were never under that arrangement. Now we got T&E guns from even Glock and some other companies. Test and evaluation, and they were borrowed guns, from actual manufacturer occasionally, and if I liked it, I could buy it, send them a check for it, But no, these are auction guns, but I can get one. I just had to buy a new one. Oh man, that thing is nice. Again, it's SAKO, SAKO Bavarian Model. Bavarian. I've looked at several of these, and it's always, I have to remind myself at the exhibits which one it is. A model 85M. see what the M stands for. I know it's a Bavarian Model 85, maybe Hunter, I thought it was called. But anyway, they come with the sights already, and the thing I like about so much, it's not because it's an expensive rifle, you know, it is beautiful, and feels like a, what, Mercedes, Rolls Royce, the way everything is fit and everything, but it just, when you pull that up your shoulder, to me at least, and I lay in that sight, it's like it was built for me by some custom rifle maker or something, okay? So anyway, enough slobbering over that. So that was sort of for you all and for me, of course they're all for me, right? Just to experience the firearm, you know? Because I've handled it a lot, but I've never fired one. So what else was I going to talk about? Anything useful? I don't know. You know, I was reminded at the old archery shoot, and ran into 5 or 6 of you all that are viewers. If you watch these silly videos, appreciate it. You know, you come up and talking to me. Got some pictures of some little kids, some cute little kids. The family wasn't too far from us, you know, and shooting and everything. But yeah, just how much fun that is. That was, you know, 3D shoots. It's kind of like redneck golf. I told y'all about that. How you kind of go through the woods and you have oh, there's a deer, foam, made of rubber foam, and everybody takes your shot at that, and you take your score, you know, and then you go to the next. It might be a buffalo or whatever it is, you know, and you may have 20, 30 targets or something, maybe more. And just the people you meet doing that, and it's just so many regular folks enjoying that. And I was thinking driving back, how it's a shame that so many people in the world don't have some kind of hobby, whatever it is, you know, something that they can just go do like that and have kind of a normal experience, a very positive experience. And many do, of course, whether it's golf or whatever, where you're out with real people. You know, I talked last week about getting out in the real world and meeting people that are not in your virtual world, and it's kind of a different universe, you know, when you're in the real world. People are generally fairly sane that you meet and you talk to at various events, things like that. It's that anonymity. When somebody's anonymous, even if they're in your real world, but they're behind a car steering wheel, you know, and you pull out in front of them or something, you know, you can have the road rage issue. But then a little bit, in some ways, that's almost like the internet. It's like a virtual. People feel like they're anonymous, I think, when they're in their car, and they do things that they wouldn't normally do otherwise, perhaps. Behavior they wouldn't exhibit necessarily in person, but they've got that shield around them, right? They feel protected, invulnerable. But just pleasant experience, meeting people like-minded and enjoying the day. That's the thing I talk about every now and then, that it's one reason I guess have too much fun with bashing the internet, the trolls and haters and folks on the internet, and trying to remind you, especially if you're a young person or you're new to the internet, that kind of thing, that, well, you're not new to the internet probably, you've been alive a while, but social media and various things, the real world is just so different. Real people, you know, that are out there, no matter where you go, even if you don't know them yet, just generally, it's just so different than those folks hiding behind their keyboard and their computer screen in a dark room somewhere, being anonymous. So again, try to get out and enjoy the real world. If you don't have a hobby, get one. Besides watching gun videos, really, that's a great hobby, watching gun videos. Glad you're here. But do something else outside and meet some real people. And most people are pretty good folks. You know, now, we know there's a lot of them that are not. But folks who are doing something constructive out there, enjoying life, it's just so many people like that. So many groups of all ages. You know, I was thinking of those people that knew me, watched the videos. The little fellow, I think the husband, wife, and the son looked like, I don't know, 10 years old or something. I think he watched the videos too. And the little daughter, little girl, maybe 2 or 3 years younger than him, I don't know. But I thought it was just, there they are out there in the real world. They all have the bow and they're all shooting at those targets and taking their turn. And what a wonderful experience for them. The kids, at least for that segment of time, that day, that morning, they're not on the internet. They're not on social media. They're not worried about who's texting or who's not texting. I don't think there's hardly even a signal back in those woods anyway. So that's good stuff, just good stuff. And a lot of frog, is that a frog? A lot of people live that kind of life. It's a shame that more people, don't have that experience. And again, it's to give people the benefit of the doubt. There's just a lot of people in the world that they didn't come up with that kind of, I don't know that it's ideal, but a family where they're all intact and they're all going out and doing things like that on a Saturday, shooting in an archery match and having fun, and the little kids a small bow and they're having a big time. They're in the real world. They can actually talk to an adult, like those people. It's just a lot of people don't have that experience at all. They don't even have a father or mother, maybe no parents, and they have, just what they know is what they learn on the street. And they don't even have anybody in their family, hardly, uncles, aunts, or anybody that they associate with who has done much productive in their lives. Maybe they got dealt a really bad hand and it's just passed on down. And so it's just a shame. It really is. It really is. There's not a lot you can do about it. You just hope those folks, at least can see the big picture and realize where they are, and maybe get an idea what it takes to kind of get into a better life. I may have told you this. I talked to who was it? It was an attorney. I was helping with security on a trial one time. It was a murder trial back in the 80s, 90s, and got talking to this attorney, and he was talking about some detectives in Memphis. I don't think it was him. Maybe it was either him or some detectives he knew well. He worked with in Memphis, and it was an inner city situation. And there was a young person just on the streets, dealing drugs, whatever he's doing, and it was just on that path to becoming hardcore criminal. They knew the people on the street. They just knew that. However. And I don't know if it's through some special program. It might have been some grant or whatever. And he may not have been the only one. But they said these detectives, they took him and maybe some others, I don't know, young, I don't know if they're teenagers, preteen, what their age was, from the streets of Memphis, like in the worst living conditions down there. And they took them to the beach. And he was relating that this fellow, at least the one, his eyes were just open. He couldn't believe something like that existed. Just the beach and everything around there. He had never really been out of, I guess, inner city Memphis in his life, maybe. And that was the only life he knew. And it was a really life-changing experience for him and helped get him on the road. Just seeing there's a better way to live. Or there's, not that the beach is the better way to live, but, just getting out of the environment. And I always thought that was an interesting story that they related, because I can just imagine that. A lot of people just don't, none of us do. We all have those blind spots. We don't realize how closed-minded that we might be about something. You, me, anybody. We all have those, and some people have a gigantic blind spot, right? So anyway, how did I get off on all that? Well, that's what I do. I talk about weird stuff. So can I shoot something else? I don't have a lot of 270, but I might. I'll shoot this 44 a little bit more. Okay. Now that I know, I should have brought a screwdriver with me, and I want it to. Yeah, I would need to. Let's see, it's going high. Oh man, so I need to. Yeah, I need to lower that rear sight, which is fine. That's fine. It's got some room to be lowered. That's for sure. All right. And once you know that, well, even if you don't, you can shoot something even close up, and you'll see that same evidence revealed. Like even Not that close, maybe. I'll shoot the hog again. Okay, I'm gonna hold on the bottom of his body. I can. Yeah, well, higher than it ought to at that distance. Okay, and I'm gonna try the red plate on the left. I'm gonna hold low. Oh well, we're gonna have to work on that. Got one more round though. Okay, I don't know. I held right on that time. So I was shooting blanks, I think, that time. So I need to work with it, figure out where it hits. Enough to do a video with it. It's not my guns going elsewhere, of course, back to e-gunner. But I like to get them to where I can shoot them and generally know if there's any problem with them, which is probably not, right? That's very unlikely there's a problem. It's just getting the sights on close enough for government work, and so that I can shoot it and see how I like it. So I was going to talk a little bit maybe about the the virus, but you know, one of the things I find we're in this quandary now about what to do about schools, and you got sports teams, you got baseball, you got NBAs all closed up in their bubble, and they're going to try to have season, finish it, and have tournament and different things. Colleges opening up. We're going to have college football or not, and everything. Talking about, well, they're going to wear masks. Kids going back to school. What are we going to do? And I mean, to me, there's a lot of fretting, really, like over, in a way, over nothing, but maybe not the way you think I mean. I think the first step is everybody needs to back up, whether it's college football, the NBA, opening up the local middle school, whatever it is. We need to back up for a moment and say, and establish a plan for what we're going to do if a couple people test positive. All right? Because all these intricate plans and the fretting and the meetings that are going on right now, school boards and athletic conferences and everybody else, going to Herculean efforts to work out ways to make it safest, make it safe, you know. And just changing the way it's normally done in lots of different ways that are fairly complex to work out. It's going to take a lot of people working overtime to get the new system worked out for an NBA tournament, or having high school in session, or having high school football or college football. Just what it's going to take to do that. All right? And maybe it's doable. But what's going to happen within the first week? Oh, well, we got the NBA rolling along, about to start the tournament, the NBA playoffs, but 2 players on the Celtics or whoever tested positive. So Celtics are dropping out. They won't be playing tomorrow, you know. I mean, they're quarantined for 14 days. Or the 3-star players for some other team tested positive, or one, and they were due to play tomorrow, start the series, you know, against the Lakers or who. And what's going to happen? It's nah, better not try it. We started too soon. We shouldn't have tried it, right? Speaking of that cough. So that's what's been on my mind. You know that's going to happen. You know that's going to happen. People are going to freak out, not when somebody gets sick, but just when a couple of people test positive. Same for school. Like, why even bother? All this work you're going to, you get these kids in school, what's going to be in the news in about 2 days, 3 days? Oh, because they're going to be doing a lot of testing, right? Oh, we got 3 people or 10 people tested positive, such and such high school. We're going to close them down. Well, no kidding. Did you not know or suspect that was going to happen? You know? So my take on that, don't even bother. Don't even bother to open up anything unless you have come to the determination, as a lot of people have, okay, there's going to be a lot of people testing positive, just like they are now, because we're testing a lot of people. There's going to be a few that actually get sick. I mean, unless you're just going to treat it like the flu, like why even bother? You know, just like if we're in school and a couple of people get the flu, okay, they get sick, they're home. Yeah, so-and-so's home with the flu and so and such and such. And if it gets to an extent where there's a lot of people actually sick, you know, with the flu, it takes a lot of people, you know, really, you know, sick with the flu to close down the schools for a couple of days. That happens, you know. But I think you almost have to treat it all like that. And somebody's got to have the backbone to say, if it's the NBA, for example, and somebody is actually sick or testing positive, yeah, and like, okay, yeah, let's all freak out. Did we not know that was going to happen? You know, and if that affects the validity of the playoffs, then we shouldn't even do it. But it's going to happen. How could it not? Not buying trouble. It'd be cool if it doesn't. If for some reason everybody mixing together and playing sports and doing stuff, and there's hardly anybody testing positive, hey, great, that's great news, right? But anyway, every time I hear them talking about this and all the efforts, you know, that people are going to and wringing their hands and getting input from, you know, whoever, parents, commissioners, and how to do it and how to open up safely and then get this going back again. It's like, don't even talk about it if you're going to just wimp out the first time somebody tests positive. So that's my take on it. Okay, so it's just crazy. Anything else I was going to talk about? You know, I one thing I had a note on. I see comments about. I am going to shoot this thing 5 more times, but. You know what? It occurred to me too the last time I saw this comment. A boomer I can respect, okay? And you all can help me with this. Of course, that's reference to baby boomers and all that kind of thing. And we've got this thing, of course, the stereotyping of millennials or boomers or whoever, people in any group, right? Race, religion, that's just the way the world goes, right? Except that a lot of people don't seem to realize that's what they're doing. You're stereotyping, you know. And when someone leaves a comment about, and I see this a lot. I mean, it's a compliment to me, but they are complimenting me. Getting at people will say, young people probably, young people bring deductions. I can watch this boomer, you know, or this boomer seems like he's okay, you know, or just things like that. And sometimes I'll just answer them and say, well, I appreciate that, but also you're stereotyping, you know, boomers, you know. Do you stereotype people of different races and gender and religion as well, you know? Millennials, maybe this person's a millennial, so do you stereotype millennials as well? Or any of the other generations, you know, I can't keep up with. And I think people don't realize that. But when they say that, and I do see this phrase, a boomer I can respect, or a boomer I respect, that might be a line from some game or something, you know, because that's something I notice. If I see a comment as I'm skimming through, sometimes I'll see something really weird somebody says, and I have learned to figure out that's some line from a game, right, that I'm not familiar with. It's too much of a coincidence, you know. And that line could be like that. I don't know, because I see that so much. A boomer I can respect. Why that exact line I see so often. But anyway, just a note about that. If you're a young person, I don't know, maybe you falling into that same trap of, you know, various generations are guilty of this or that, or various races, various religions, various genders, okay, or whatever it might be. Nationalities you blame for things, okay? Just be aware, is there really a difference? If you're stereotyping a group of people, you're stereotyping a group of people, okay? You're broad brushing the entire group, race, religion, you know, whatever it might be. So just something to be aware of. We all have to be aware of. So, you know, I just thought I'd throw that out there. Be aware of that. So I don't know if oh yeah, I was going to talk about some things we've been shooting, like the Swiss K31. I had that out the other day, and that was fun. If you're not familiar with the Swiss K31, it's another nice bolt gun that is just very accurate, and I use that term loosely. You know what I mean. It's famous for being accurate. Okay. Now, for me, it could be 10% less accurate, and I probably wouldn't even know it, because again, I'm not trying to drive nails with it. I'm just enjoying it at reasonable distances, at reasonably sized targets. That's what I do. I shoot reasonably sized targets at reasonable distances for the most part. I like to stretch out a little bit occasionally with both arrows, archery, and with firearms, especially handguns. I guess I shoot handguns at longer ranges than most people, just because it's fun, and I can, because I've got the range to do it on. Hard to shoot in an indoor shooting range, at 100 yards, I guess, right? Most of them. So let's try this again. So what did I decide? Sights are pretty much on, aren't they? Oh boy, fits like egg. Oh. I like that bowl handle too. It's just nice. Y'all saw that, didn't you? You saw that 2-liter. You see how far it went? There it is right there. Came off that stand about 5 yards. Okay? That's probably about 5 yards in this direction. I don't want to get morbid or gross, but there are a lot of people, and I don't know. I don't even take a side on it. I don't have enough interest in it, or enough. Nobody has enough information. But there are a lot of people who base their theory. They know that obviously the shot couldn't have come from such and such direction in the Kennedy assassination because of their reaction. That's all I'll say about that, okay? But if you have shot 2 liters, watermelons, anything like that, strange things happen. Why didn't that 2-liter go in the other direction, okay? I didn't put one on the gong. It probably wouldn't hurt it too much. We were shooting John's 300 Win Mag the other day, though, and put some shots on red plates at 75 yards with that thing. It dug in to what I thought was AR-500 steel. Some rounds, they just will damage AR-500 steel. They don't tear it apart or go through it or anything, but it's like why bother? 270 is a fast little round, a lot of power. Oh man. Now you're going to accuse me of being paid by SAKO now, right? No, you all wouldn't, but we still get those comments occasionally. When'd you get your check from Glock? Didn't Glock send their check? Didn't Walther send their check? Whenever there's a firearm that I don't tend to like as well as something else, and you get those comments. Imagine that on the internet. On the internet. Yeah. Whew. I tell you, I need another rifle like a hole in the head, but this is going to make it even more tempting. Every time I go to those meetings, I get tempted, but that's what I'll do. Next time at the SHOT Show or the NRA meeting, I'll just I'll sneak out with one, because nobody would notice, right? Oh man, gosh. What else we've been shooting? Let's see. We were shooting. Well, I believe it or not, got the M&P 40 out. the old M&P40. We did a video, I won't say too much about it. We did an armed in video, another one, 2007. So you can keep an eye out for that. I enjoy that series. And we have a lot of ideas and a lot of different videos that we will be doing. Because, I mean, that's just right up, we feel like it's right up our alley. It's stuff we enjoy doing. I have, I have a selection, a 3-gun battery from almost any time period. You know, so it's just a neat series, and again, it's not the firearms necessarily I would have chosen, or it might be, or you either. It's just 3 possible choices. And if we've done like we did one in 2007, we'll come back and do one 2010 sometime. You know, we done what 1876, I think. We may do 1873, 1879. I don't know. You know, no category is sacred. We'll come back there, and we could do the same year. And guess what? 3 different firearms, right? You know, what would have been, you know, viable choices. So that's kind of the fun part of that. So I enjoy that. It's not based on price. It's not what the military has. I've had several comments I've seen where people will. I don't know, during one of those, they said, well, how come you didn't choose a Krag or some rifle, I forgot what it was, something that wouldn't have been available to, you know, the average person at the time. It was that military rifle or something. You know, I think what it was, or one comment like that was about the Bavarian 98, I think. Yeah, yeah, that was it. Someone asked on that, the one we did, 1899. Why didn't you choose the G98? Yeah, it's been out a year. Yeah. Okay. I think I try to be a smart aleck or anything, you know, duh. But I just said I don't think that the average person in the United States had access to a G98 in 1899. I could be wrong, right? So anyway, and you have to be, me included, if I see some weird comment, it's hard to know who maybe English is their second language, who English is a second language for, and all those sorts of things. And didn't listen in the video, or just didn't see it all, or just quick to comment, that sort of thing. It's not people trying necessarily to be a troll or hater sometimes, even though they might come off that way. It's pretty clear when somebody is a hater, you know, they just filled with envy, you know. As I've said before, I would be envious of me, okay? I'd be even more envious of me if my name was Hugh Hefner, right? Sorry, ladies. But yeah, because I get to shoot stuff, borrow stuff like this, just on a whim. I say, wow, yeah, I think I'll request one of those. Let's shoot that, do a video with that, you know. So, and I can get ammo from Federal to do it. So I would be envious of me in that case. Again, not to pat myself on the back, but I just do continue to reiterate how John and I are very aware, is the word I'm looking for. We're very aware of how fortunate we are and how lucky we are. We really are. We were talking about that just a day or two ago. We're out messing around here. And I'm aware of it all the time. It comes to my mind almost every day, okay? I don't dwell on it, but it's pretty cool. I'm so lucky. If I get harried and busy and, you know, something's not going right or whatever's going, everybody's living their life, you know, trying to get by. And it's really, you know, I just pinch myself and remind myself. One of my best ones is, I've told you this before, I think, is I'm getting into one of my gun safes and looking for a gun. I keep them all in the socks, you know, and sometimes you put them back in after video and clean. Oh yeah, but they get less organized than they start out or whatever. Or I'm having trouble finding a gun, and we're about to do a video, or we're going to do something with it, and oh man, I know I put it. It's in this safe. That's where it should be, and I can't find. You know, and I'm digging around in it, and 2 or 3 other long guns are falling at me, trying to fall over or something, and I've done that several times. Because that happens very often, and I start to get frustrated or mad, or you know, not mad, but just, you know, he goes, you know, you're in a hurry, you're looking for something, and then I catch myself every time. So now, wait a minute. Are you about to get frustrated? I'm talking to myself. Are you about to get frustrated because you have so many guns, you can't find the one you're looking for? The others are falling into you. You can't keep them on the shelf because you've got so many guns that you can't find the one you're looking for. Are you actually about to get upset over that? You know, so I remind myself, I catch myself if I ever have that attitude. So we're very, very aware of how fortunate we are in the firearms, you know, world and being able to do this. So especially me, I've lived a lot of careers and lives, and here I am at my age and able to do this. It's just a really cool thing. So we appreciate your all support. Battlestall.com and talongungrips.com. So again, all that's just in, again, the same theme, how lucky we are. So I can't complain. I can't complain. Let's see, how can I say this without getting myself into trouble? Furthering the Hugh Hefner analogy, I'll just say he probably had a tough time on occasion making certain decisions, don't you imagine? And maybe caught himself starting to get frustrated with not being able to make a decision, and you know, and had to catch himself. Sorry, couldn't resist. So yeah, what else? Anything else? Nothing really worth talking about, probably. Just been hanging around and doing some videos and trying to keep up with stuff. Again, so many messages, I can't keep up with it, comments and all that. I apologize again for that. I cannot have a life really, though, and do this if I'm at the computer all the time trying to answer everybody's questions. I just can't do that. The videos are pretty much to answer at least the answers we think we have. They're in the videos, all right? Because I get Facebook messages, just gosh, so many. And it'd be, now, what do you think about this gun? Or which of these two guns do you think about? We got videos on all those guns, you know, and that's pretty much our opinion on those guns, you know, on those firearms. So I can't do videos on all these guns and then write essays on all of them to people. You know, just can't do it. Wish I could. Please don't ever think it's just out of rudeness that I don't answer you. Okay, I just can't. There's so many, and it's not out of rudeness. You know, it's just no time. You know, I wouldn't have a life. You know, because I know how it is. If somebody is anything of a public figure at all, you know, we are a little bit of a public figure, then it's really easy, and people can be really, really quick, and they're almost looking for it, right? They're looking to prove to themselves that, yeah, that guy thinks he's something, or she thinks she's something. You know, we're almost looking for that. We're almost hoping for it because we want a reason to hate that person. You know, it's like you want a reason to hate me because what I've been talking about. I get to just call up buds and, hey, send me this, and I get to shoot it, and call up Federal, and, hey, I need some ammo to shoot this. Come on, you know. You know, so there's reasons to hate me, right? And sometimes there are people who are less mature, low self-esteem, full of envy, whatever. They're really looking for a reason to not like me, and I've seen that actually in a Facebook message before, you know, and just get upset because I didn't answer them, you know. My eyes have come across a string where somebody has sent 2 or 3. And you know, the last one, they're just, yeah, so you think you're somebody, you know, you can't talk to us little people or something like that. You know, it's not that, guy. Ask anybody that's ever met me anywhere. You'll never find anybody I've ever been rude to. Nobody. I mean, I don't know, maybe somebody in my life somewhere, but I mean, in relation to this, viewers, ever. In 12 years, 15 years, I just ask any of my students. I'm sarcastic, you know, I love humor, but I'm just not rude to people. It's that simple, you know. So it's never out of rudeness. Just make sure you know that, okay? It's just I hate you. It's not that I'm rude. I just hate people. I tell people all the time that I love the social distancing. It's I hate people anyway, so I don't have to talk to them. Just kidding. Just kidding. No, I'll let y'all go. I've enjoyed this little chat out here in the woods. I get once a week. I get to confirm my insanity by standing in the woods talking. Although I get something accomplished, I really do. I know that this is printing a little high. I think the windage is probably okay, so I need to, bring it out again and put up a paper target or just shoot some steel again and really bear down and figure out how much it's going high, and probably crank down that lower side, rear side a little bit. And I'll shoot some 44 special in this thing. That will be like shooting a 22, I guarantee you. Just heavy. And this baby seems to be pretty much on. Imagine that. My guess is at the factory they probably just make sure these things are on. I don't know. Pretty piece of wood. Pretty piece of wood, no doubt about it. So that is a jewel. And you probably won't see me with a I don't need an extender on this thing at all. It just fits perfectly. I don't know, if I put an extender on, it'd probably feel better, but I mean, it feels fine. So I don't see me needing to do that. Oh boy, I might just have to write Buzz and say that. That SAKO Model 85, it never did get here. I got lost or something. I can't do that because I checked it out of the gun shop. But there we go. I'll just say I sent it back. Natty and I can do. Yeah, I shipped that thing back. I don't know what happened. I dropped it off at UPS. I don't know where it went from there. Must have gotten stolen. Is all I know. Nah. Can't do that very well. I wouldn't do it anyway, you know that, right? So I guess I'll let you go. I can't think of any more really believable lies to tell you. And anything going on, any videos you need to watch out for. Trying to remember what we posted this week. It'll come to me. Oh yeah, the python, the 4-inch python. Speaking of pythons, right? So that pretty much ends the saga of the 2020 python for a while. Although I think we did a chapter 2 with that we'll post. Okay, yeah, because I remember before we sent it back, I enjoyed shooting it, and I told Joe, let's do another video, just shoot it some more. Yeah, again, a little further testing and just shooting a short video, and I did. Yeah, I haven't posted that yet. I compared it with the 686. Some people have been asking for that, so watch for that. And that's one reason you don't see some of those videos earlier until we post the main video. And that was a Bud's borrowed gun. So we usually, if you notice, we do those usually on our Tuesday, post them. And then they go up on their e-gunner, I don't know, sometime usually that week. But so I didn't want to post like a comparison or something before we post the main video with the 4-inch or that kind of thing. But I did compare those two. So in a way it does. We don't have any of the 2020 pythons here at the compound. Okay, kind of what I'm getting at. They're all gone back, and anything you see, was done before today. But I don't know. We'll get another one maybe in a year or so. I don't know. Maybe they'll come out with a blued version or something, or a 14-inch barrel version, who knows. So now I'm relegated to my lame 6-inch blued python, which is actually very nice. And I thoroughly enjoyed shooting it this week, like I said. And, oh yeah, I posted the number 4 Mark 1, right? Mark 4 number 4 Mark 1 Lee Enfield. Woods Walk. Those are cool. Need to get that. I've got a Mark 3 out. Need to get those out a little more often, don't I? Because they're fun to shoot. The bolt action rifle, again, let me continue the theme, the preaching, okay, before I let you go. Youngsters, especially, and actually maybe some of you old folks, if you've not discovered the fun, the joy of just a simple bolt action rifle, what's wrong with you? Whether it's like this, or it's a military surplus rifle, like the Lee Enfield or the Mauser. This is a lot like a Mauser. If you've not discovered the joys of these, man, do it. Do it. Just like a revolver or anything. Don't be one-dimensional with your firearms. I do advise you. It's my strong opinion. You younger shooters and I start to say collectors. Maybe it's more like accumulators of firearms. Be careful that you don't end up with. This could happen. You may want that to happen. That's where the direction you want to go in. But it could kind of happen, not unconsciously, but it could happen without planning for it, that in 5 years, you've got 5 or 6 M&P pistols, 5 or 6 Glocks, 2 or 3 Walthers or something, and 7 AR-15s of various forms. Every time you see a video on guns like these, or you see people have them at the range, they look cool, they look fun, that kind of thing. And here you sit with all these duplicate firearms. Maybe, just maybe, you would enjoy the shooting sports a little bit more. You would be a little bit more well-rounded if instead of one of those Glocks or AR-15s, well, maybe not a rifle in this price category, but just picked up an interesting military surplus bolt gun, or a revolver, or a lever action, you would enjoy it. You must like guns, or you wouldn't have all those guns. My little hypothetical person that has all these M&Ps and Glocks and AR-15. You must really like firearms, or you wouldn't have all those. You wouldn't have got stuck with all those firearms and have all that money in those firearms. So I'm pretty sure you would enjoy something, a bolt gun, not necessarily this one, or a revolver, lever gun, that kind of thing. Okay, so that kind of stuff kind of happens, just slips up on you. All of a sudden, you look in your safe. Hopefully, you have one. And I got all these. How do they sort of end up with 13 high points? Instead of 5 of those high points, one of those could have been an M&P or a Glock or something. Sorry, I don't mean to make fun of high points. Okay, not again. I've done enough of that. So, but it's not a high point thing necessarily. It's just we just end up. Who was it? Was it Dave Ramsey? One of his advice, financial advice pieces of wisdom is it's not always true. I don't always agree with that because it doesn't always apply. But look around all the stuff you have. I've heard him say, and would you buy that today? Would you buy that tomorrow? If not, get rid of it, sell it, whatever. I think that applies to some things, but not everything, right? I probably have a lot of things I wouldn't necessarily buy today if I didn't have it. I don't know, but I'm not in a rush to get rid of it. Maybe it's a collectible to some extent, and I might want to. Most of the stuff I have, it's a little different. Most of the stuff I have that costs money, and I've always used this to rationalize. I'm not as materialistic as maybe a lot of people, as I could appear to be that way. I have some really nice firearms thing, bow, whatever it is, but they are things I use. They're kind of tool. They're things I use. And you know me, they get shot, right? So I'm out shooting them. I'm using them. I'm doing stuff with them. That's where I put my money, in things I can do stuff with that I enjoy doing. But anyway, I got off track there. But just something to think about. You want to reevaluate occasionally, because you might have fallen into that it's not a trap, but that category where you put a lot of money in stuff, and you're sitting there thinking, boy, I sure like one of those guns. You really would like one of those guns. It's something different than what you have. And then you look at your 16 Glocks and you think, hey, didn't occur to me, but I could have one of those guns without spending any more money, or one of those, whatever it is. So enough advice, okay, from Hickok 45. I'll let you go. I have enjoyed you all stopping by out here in the woods. It's especially ticky and humid. hot, all that stuff. But life goes on. They say this virus is supposed to die quickly in hot climate, well, hot sunlight, of course, and high humidity. Well, at least that was on a certain day. The news, right, changes daily. So I don't think it could survive too well out here. I really don't. It's probably 95 to 98% humidity. You may be not able to tell with this black shirt, but it's pretty much soaked. I've been out in it all day. I'm just a slob. It's like, why change my shirt? It's going to be soaked, the new one, in about 10 minutes, so don't worry about it. So y'all have a good week and get yourself out and shoot a little bit. Again, you know, things will get better if you're living in a place where you just can't get out very well and you're suffocating under that mask. Those things are hard to breathe under, I tell you. So I'm glad I'm where I am in Tennessee. I don't have to put one on very much at all, and it's only when it's absolutely necessary that I do it. And I don't expect anybody to do it around me. I prefer they don't. Tell you the truth, just don't. But hopefully you're getting through it, and maybe things will get better. I don't know. I guess when schools open up, because enough of them will and are going to do it, we might learn something new in the next 2 or 3 months. Not all that, just from that. Okay. I tend to think what's going to happen is what I talked about earlier is going to happen. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So I'm going to let you go, and I might take a couple more shots while you're gone. I hope you don't get mad if I do. If you find out I fired a couple thousand rounds through this 44 Magnum, I apologize to you ahead of time. And anyway, have a good Sunday and week, and I'll talk to you next week about some additional meaningless stuff. Okay? Life is good.